Hello and welcome to Are You Convinced, the podcast where two guys meet up in a house and try to convince each other on topics that don't matter. No, that didn't.
Something's weird.
That didn't sound right. Why did that not sound right?
Do I?
You do this bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Should we? No, you just do it.
Right.
Okay.
Welcome to Are You Convinced? Whatever Damon said.
No, that still doesn't sound right.
I don't know. It's been so long.
How long has it been? It's been
close to 2 months, a month and a half at least.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Okay.
We're just talking at each other, but really we're talking to you. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Are You Convinced? We're back.
We're very out of practice, very rusty.
It's a bit like when you finally have to go back to work after a Monday. Like when your Monday comes around and you have to get out of bed and you're just like, I really don't want to do this.
Yeah.
We did that for a couple of Mondays.
Exactly. I mean, not that this is work. I mean, I think we would both prefer this over our respective jobs, really. But yeah, you spend a little bit of time away. Maybe you go on holidays. Maybe you go to Sydney and go to a boat party like one of us did, like half of this podcast did. The other half moved house.
Yeah. So you just get busy. Things
you
happen.
do. And life gets in the way.
Yeah.
I love that expression.
Life gets in the way, and that's life.
I was really planning.
It doesn't get in the way. It just
happens. It is what it is.
I know.
I really wanted to kickstart my painting career and do some really nice watercolor landscapes. But,
How'd that work?
Life got in the way.
Yeah, it happens. Life
if you did it, that would have been life.
Yeah.
Like if you did that painting,
that would have gotten in the way.
That's life.
Painting would have been,
Actually, your painting would have gotten in the way of something important.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No,
raising your kids.
Follow your dreams. Do your create. Well, that's what we're doing. We're releasing our creative
outlet.
Yeah.
Speaking of creative outlets, Hollywood is a creative outlet for a whole bunch of people.
So, have we always been this bad? We've been better at this.
I think so.
I'm sure we've been better at this.
No, this is fantastic. No, look, we are talking, as we've entered 2018, we're going to be talking about movies of 2018. I think more specifically whether we think that they're going to be hits or absolute duds.
Absolutely. I mean, what better way to start 2018 by looking at, the big milestone things that are coming up and
so much.
There's so much. Like this year really is. I remember a couple of years ago, I forget what year it was, we were talking about how I think what
should we go back?
Force Awakens. Shimmity. I think it was the one where Force Awakens was coming out.
So 2015. Yes. Yeah.
Is that how we're saying 2015 from now on?
Oh, when we're thinking about what year that was, yes.
And when we're out of practice talking in a microphone, yes. That was mean, Jim. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think about 2015, people were talking about how this could be like the best best year for movies ever.
Okay.
And there was a new Star Wars movie coming out. I'm pretty sure there was a big Avengers movie coming out of that time.
Yeah, I guess it would have been that old.
I don't think it was.
Then it was Age of Ultron, maybe.
Maybe. There was, I remember a year when all the YouTubers and bloggers were saying this is the year for movies, man. All the big ones are coming out and all these franchises are kicking off and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And looking back, I don't even remember the movie. So
no, exactly.
I remember the year. So I don't even know that they were that accurate, really.
Yeah.
It could have been nothing.
And I think that's actually been a point that's been raised quite a bit about movies these days, especially when we're getting so many franchises and reboots and all that sort of thing, is that movies these days don't have staying power.
Absolutely.
At the time, you might think, oh, this looks amazing. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And you go to see it, and then you don't remember it. There's not really been films.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years, there's not a whole lot that's come out that's vital, critically important to the history of film.
I sort of first realized exactly what you're talking about with Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, okay.
I remember saying to you, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't spend any more time thinking about it afterwards.
Yeah.
It was a really good movie. It was great. But I'm but it was always going to be great. There was nothing world-changing or franchise-breaking that I didn't expect to see or anything. And, we can go into spoilers, but it's not a review. But, quick spoilers for Thor Ragnarok. He loses
what are we, 3 months, 4 months now?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Go see the damn movie. It's good. But he loses an eye.
Yeah.
And Asgard gets destroyed. But really, if I sat down and thought about it, they're two things that I don't think I could have predicted or that really shook me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it wasn't a no, I'm your father kind of moment.
Yeah.
And I think we do lack those.
Yeah.
I mean, even the last Star Wars movie that came out, which...
very, very polarizing.
Yeah, well, even in this room, it's polarizing. So we won't... One
Oh.
day we'll talk about really what we thought about that one, but we won't. Not today. People are, again, like you say, polarized on certain moments in that. But there was nothing in that movie that made me just go, Star Wars has been turned on its head.
I think, to me, without going down this rabbit hole too much, because I will.
But it feels like we're about to. It feels like we're on the precipice.
Just really quick, like, to me, the big issue with the film is that they were trying to make those big sort of shocking moments.
Yeah.
But they came across in such a way of ha, we got you, like, thought it was going to be that, but it's not.
But I think there's also an element of what you were talking about in the sense that, it's an event when it comes out, and we see it a couple of times, but then as soon as it's over, we start talking about, will Solo be any good?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the next anthology movie? We're so used to now, it's a sort of disposable content.
Yeah.
We're so used to watching the movie and then moving on to the next big thing coming up.
It's franchises and reboots and the in between, the few and far movies that are unique and groundbreaking and tell a interesting story. They're just so few and far between. Everything's very paint by numbers.
It's kind of nice. I think you and I have both picked movies to discuss today. We're going to talk about hits and misses, whether we think movies are going to be big hits of 2018 or big bombs of 2018.
Yep.
You and I, it looks like we've both picked pretty small movies, haven't we, in the grand scheme of things?
I think there's not a lot of knowledge about them as of yet, for sure. I mean, I certainly haven't heard anything about the movie you're talking about. We'll get into mine as well, which does have some big names sort of attached in the production of it, so it's got some support there, but I don't think a lot of people have heard much about it yet.
Yeah, I mean, this might be people's first port of call for both of these movies, really. This might be the first time people hear about them, which is really cool and really egotistical of me to think that people come to us for their, news or...
But, yeah, like, it's a very interesting thing because, you can... see a trailer for a movie or something and think, oh, that's going to be awesome, or that's going to be like really bad, and then completely surprises you, and you just didn't expect it.
Was there anything that surprised you recently?
Well, like just last year, movie I haven't seen and wasn't planning on seeing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
End of last year, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
You and I both talked about this.
Yes.
I don't know I can't remember if we talked about this on air or not. And
we might have been messaging in the theater while watching Last Jedi.
Just before, maybe, the
trailer probably came up.
Oh, we did too. That's exactly what it was. We were both in the same cinema, but we couldn't sit together. We both texted each other after the Jumanji trailer and just went,
like, no. Like, that's not happening. We are not. This movie. What have they done to Jumanji? No.
How dare they?
But no.
How dare they take a movie which, when you critically watch it now as an adult, isn't really that good, but because it came out when we were kids and there's a nostalgia value, how dare they ruin that?
How dare they?
How dare they update it? How dare they update it with a Nintendo 64 console in 2018?
That really got to me, actually.
It would have annoyed you.
Why not just keep the board game? But apparently that's discussed in the movie. The movie apparently was really good.
I mean, I've heard, I have heard mixed
well
things.
Received.
I've heard it's not great. It's not world changing.
Oh, it's not going to be. Yeah.
But it's one of those ones it's kind of better than it deserved to be.
Yeah.
I don't like Kevin Hart.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can't stand him. So much of his comedy revolves around how much smaller he is than The Rock.
Yeah, okay.
And apparently there's a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah.
The Rock's just charming. He's just brilliant. Speaking of The Rock, he's got 2 movies coming out this year.
Yeah.
Can I throw a couple? A couple. There's only 2. Can I throw them both back at you and see what you think?
Go for it. So, all right.
Well, one of them you already know about. We discussed a little bit leading up to this. But the other one, I forget what it's called.
Skyscraper?
Skyscraper, thank you. Where he's a one-legged architect, and it's basically Die Hard.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, it's Die Hard with The Rock.
I saw that he's like crazy on social media, but he made this post talking about the movie and how excited he is to be involved in it, and how it's such an honor to play this character in this such unique story. And
it's not, man. No, it's not.
Die Hard.
No, it's not. Also, I mean, it's pretty much every other movie you've been in. It's like an average Joe with military experience.
Yeah,
I've seen this before, man. I've totally seen this. The one interesting element of it is that he's got one leg.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last movie I saw where the main character is an architect.
Sure. Okay.
There you go. That's about the only interest, the only thing that get me in.
But that's just kind of like walking into a boardroom meeting, you know, having the pitch. Like, okay, so no, he can't be like an ex-Navy SEAL. Let's just throw darts over there at that wall.
Yeah.
All right, it's architect and amputee. Okay.
I was really hoping for an engineer with Down syndrome.
Yeah, you know, like.
But you're right. Like,
they had to make him interesting.
One board for profession, one board for tragic backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like they've crossed out so many recently that they really are down to amputees.
We had to give him some flaw and
something that'll hold him back. And you know, someone will come out with a blog about, like, someone will write something about how it's really powerful for amputees and it sends a great message for amputees. And then someone that's actually an amputee will come out and write another blog just being all like, no, it's really not. We're not your entertainment. Please don't. You know, there was a thing about, I think Dwarfs, a little person came out a little while ago with an article about how, can you stop using us as punchlines?
Yeah,
please?
okay, yeah.
Finally, it's like 2018. Can you just stop doing that? And then everyone on the internet got really mad about it and said, why can't I call a dwarf a dwarf? So, sorry,
wow.
Sorry, it was, no, because dwarf's okay. I think midget is the inappropriate term.
Yeah, okay.
And they're like, well, you know, just because these midgets, insert word here, midgets are telling us not to call them midgets, why can't we call them midgets? So you're an intelligent person, aren't you, mate? Anyway, whatever. Let's not get bogged down in that.
But the other rock film, you were going to pitch this one as being an absolute bomb.
Yeah, but it was sort of low hanging fruit. I thought, how much can I really attack this?
Yeah, it's like kicking somebody while they're down.
Exactly. I mean, they're already a video game movie. It's already got nothing going for it. Do you know Rampage? We're talking about Rampage. Do you know anything about that arcade game Rampage?
No.
To me, it looked like Wreck-It Ralph with animals.
Okay.
I think Rampage is sort of, I don't know if they based Wreck-It Ralph on Rampage or if it's just the same concept. Like, these three monsters are wrecking a city and you've got to, like, stop them or repair the buildings or something.
Okay.
But why a wolf, a gorilla, and a crocodile?
Why not?
It was clearly designed by a 12-year-old. That's all I can think of.
Like the coolest animals they could come up with, yeah.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah. But...
Yeah, so you've got this gorilla that's growing in size or something, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and destroying the city, and it's called George, which is not a very exciting thing to yell out in a really intense moment. It's in the trailer. That's
the funniest.
George!
It's the funniest part of the trailer. It's the best bit. Actually, sorry, no, the best bit is where they actually stop and zoom in on the rock, and he says the clunkiest goddamn line I've ever heard. I was just thinking the only thing missing from this situation is a giant crocodile. No, you did not write that. That's a terrible line of dialogue.
Yes.
It's so bad. And then a giant crocodile appears from the river.
In London?
Chicago.
Chicago.
It's set in Chicago.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to offend anyone. I'm sure Chicago is a wonderful city, but like the obvious, why not New York or London?
Because it's been done.
What? So you pick Chicago? I don't. I'm not knocking Chicago. I'm just saying it's not interesting enough. It's still famous enough.
Yeah, okay.
But it's not interesting. Like District 9 aliens didn't land in Los Angeles or New York. They landed in Johannesburg.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting. We've never seen a movie in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Chicago, we've seen the Blues Brothers and other movies set around there. I don't know, Seoul in Korea or Budapest. Like, pick something. If you're gonna not pick New York,
on the wall. Where are we setting this movie?
Yeah, absolutely correct. I withdraw everything I just said. You're 100% correct. Okay, so another movie that I want to talk to you about, and it's also in the category of why does this exist? Why do we need this movie?
So it's gonna bomb. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, it's gonna bomb. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. We were talking about this, and we can't even picture it in our heads. The new Robin Hood movie.
Yeah.
With Jamie Foxx in it.
Jamie Foxx as Little John.
I can't even process that. I can't even put those words together to make sense in my head.
Tim Minchin is Friar Tuck.
No, he's not.
He is. Yeah, Tim Minchin is Friar Tuck. And the Maid Marian is played by Bono's daughter.
Oh,
so, what is this?
Who's making this?
I need to see a trailer to contextualize it because I just Is it a comedy? Is it serious?
Is it an art house film?
What's happening?
Is Yoko Ono directing it? I just can't work this out.
I need to know more.
Look, I mean, the other one that I didn't even know this was a thing until you wrote it on the run sheet We're getting a Holmes and Watson movie.
Yes.
Yeah, because that hasn't been done.
Around Christmas time.
We clearly needed another reboot of that tired old story that's now in public domain. I can't really read who is starring in it, James. That's John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell.
Yeah, so it's a comedy.
We don't need this. We don't need this movie. Why are they making it?
Why is this happening?
Why is it happening?
So I don't think that'll go either way. I think that'll just be kind of a in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just gonna be accepted as
critics will hate it. We'll go and see it.
People will enjoy it. Regular average Joes will go, yeah, it was funny.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'll score an average 70 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. It'll be promoted as the Step Brothers reunion that isn't Step Brothers 2.
Exactly. And everyone's just going to be like, just make Step Brothers 2.
Isn't that coming?
I've got no idea. Yeah. I mean, it'll suck. It'll inevitably suck.
Actually, off of that, because I'm great at segues, Super Troopers 2.
Yeah. Okay. Can I confess something with you?
Yeah.
I saw Super Troopers once.
Yep.
At like a friend's party when we were 15.
Yeah. Okay.
Which meant that I've not seen Super Troopers.
Fair enough.
I remember laughing at it.
Yep.
I remember give me a liter of cola.
Yeah.
I don't remember why that was funny because in Australia we use liters, so that's exactly what you'd ask for. I guess he's Canadian.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. So.
But
I need to rewatch the original. Is what I'm trying to say.
I think it was sort of like really like the super bad of that time.
Right. Yeah.
It was just like outrageous comedy. It was really well loved, but I actually feel like it's going to bomb Super Troopers 2. I feel like the first one was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Now it's too little, too much, like it's a bit too long.
Comedy sequels don't do well.
Yeah.
Comedy sequels.
Zoolander 2.
Yeah.
Was a thing but that happened. That
wasn't
no
just
resemblance to the original movie.
That wasn't just bad. That was so awful. It got to the point of you wonder what people were thinking when they made it.
Yeah.
Because there was clearly effort put into it.
Yeah.
But every choice they made for that movie was wrong.
Yeah.
They got everything wrong about it. Sorry, another one real quickly. There was one I was going to throw at you. That's right. In terms of sequels that don't really need to happen.
Okay.
But we all knew they would. Pacific Rim Uprising.
Yeah.
I've got no time for this movie.
Really?
Yeah, I really don't. I've seen the trailers. They don't excite me.
Yep.
They're like returning cast. No, you've picked the two comic relief characters from the movie who probably didn't have anything else going on anyway.
Yeah, more or less.
You know,
the original guy didn't come back. They got John Boyega.
Yeah, who I like.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I really like. But he is no Idris Elba. He's meant to be Idris Elba's son.
Okay.
And you know, like there's that amazing line from the original where he's like, "Tonight we are cancelling the apocalypse," and you just like hairs go back on the back of your neck, and it's Idris Elba's delivery, and you know that's an amazing like. Tonight we celebrate our Independence Day. Sort of line. In this one, he's walking up and down in front of Jaeger pilots, brightly lit, looking really well groomed, and he's all like, "Jaeger pilots, are you ready?" And I'm like, Power Rangers assemble. You know, it's again captured lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. And that's what I think was they probably should have had this sequel come out a lot sooner. They should have built this world a lot quicker than they did.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I'm still looking forward to it. It is coming out at an interesting time. I think it's only in March, so it's not far off.
It is coming out in March.
Yeah, so that's kind of a weird time for movies.
It's almost a bit of a graveyard shift almost, isn't it? It's not quite a dumping ground.
It's just coming out of that dumping ground sort of period, the start of the year.
That's right.
Sort of getting into it, but it's still sort of
Does that mean
days.
They're not backing it?
Yes and no. They haven't backed it enough to put it in May, June when everything's getting into the big summer blockbusters.
Yeah, I mean, it's do you know what? It's competing with my movie that I'm going to talk about in a minute, and it's competing with Ender's Game, which is coming out this year.
And do you mean Ready Player One?
Yes. Yes. No, I mean Ender's Game, that movie that came out like 6 years ago.
Yes.
That everyone loved the book and no one liked the movie. That one.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Which Ready Player One, also based on a book.
And everyone loves the book, and no one's going to like the movie.
Yeah, I'm predicting.
Interested. I'm predicting it to be a huge bomb.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry to be pessimistic.
No. That's all good. I'm really looking forward to that one. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. I for your sake, I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I never read the book. I'm not a gamer. I've got no attachment to it. To me, it just looks like pandering.
Yeah. Okay.
Like so much of those trailers are just, I recognize that character from that game.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna do this. Oh, they're gonna get like that format, and then they're gonna add, that guy. I don't care.
Yeah.
There's nothing that holds my interest,
Yep.
and it's just sort of screen porn for people that play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
If that's an appropriate,
and movie references, so
yeah,
it's
okay,
right up my alley.
all right, yeah, no, okay, fair.
Yeah.
But how far can you go on references if the story is basic?
Yeah. Well, have you read the book? I
haven't.
I have no knowledge of the story.
I'll withdraw that comment out of fairness.
But you are right though in terms of, now that I think about it, I don't know what the story is. I've seen the trailer a number of times. I don't know what it's about.
There's another trailer I saw recently doing research for this. The guy that invented the Oasis, where they upload, he dies, leaves a video out there to everyone saying, if you're watching this, I'm dead. There's an item or a series of items hidden in the Oasis. If you find it, you win $500 billion and you become like king of the Oasis.
Okay.
So then there's like a corporate espionage thing of people trying to hire people to go find it, and then like this kid is doing really well and like mastering all the tasks and stuff, and
he's gonna find it, and
they're trying to bring him down, and then action ensues. But I don't know that it's strong enough on its own as a story, as a concept, to survive without some serious groundwork in the movie. And if it's just pandering, if it's just look how many properties we can fit on the screen at one time, people will see through that.
Yeah, okay.
And casual observers like me will see through it quicker than gamers. Because you might get a thrill out of watching it the first time, but then you might not watch it again because there's no surprises in it. I don't know. Oh, maybe I'm just being cynical.
No. That's very, very valid. We just go through some of these movies. I mean, there's a few. We'll stop on a few. Yep. Because there are some we want to talk about. But let's just go through some. We'll throw some at each other and just go, what do you reckon?
Sort of go rapid fire. Yeah,
so Black Panther, gonna be a hit.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said this before. I'm getting a little bit of Marvel fatigue, but this looks different enough.
Yeah.
Like stylistically, the soundtrack, the effects, everything about it looks like a different enough world for me to get a bit excited about.
Yeah.
And I'm keen on that, absolutely. I wanted to throw Deadpool 2 at you.
Oh, gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's gonna be as good as the first one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna enjoy it.
I think it actually stands a chance of being better.
You reckon?
Yeah, I reckon Fox are gonna back themselves a little bit more with this one. Could backfire. They could try and throw too much into it.
Yeah.
And it could get that classic overloaded sequel sort of thing about it. But
tends to happen with especially like raunchy comedies.
Yeah.
Is they go too far. Like you've got like your Hangover 2.
Yeah. Which
overdo it.
I'm the only person in the world that apparently likes
I enjoy Hangover 2.
Yeah.
But it becomes more of the same. Like this is what worked in the first one. Let's do that again. And bits of that just kind of like.
You're right. It doesn't hold up.
Hangover 2 isn't as good as number 1. And I think that's what's going to happen with Deadpool 2.
Sure.
I think it's going to be great. It's just not going to be as good.
Fair enough.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
It's going to suck. They got the character of Lara Croft completely wrong.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
Like strong female character. This is a great opportunity. They turn her into pretty much a damsel in distress.
Yep. She should be the Indiana Jones. Instead, it looks like she's going to be like a survivor from Lost.
Yeah.
We could be wrong.
Yeah. Who knows? But video game movies don't work.
Well, apparently those games have gotten vastly better.
Yes,
like
and they're really story-driven, character-driven, and you have the story there. Make the movie that the game's told, but no, they didn't. They didn't do that at all.
All right, so it won't be that movie to buck the trend then.
Yeah. I don't think so.
All right, no, fair enough. Okay, good. What was I going to throw at you? Jurassic World 2: Fallen Kingdom.
It's just going to be okay. It's just going to be enjoyable.
I think it's going to bomb.
Yeah.
I think it's going to suck hard.
Okay.
Okay, so you watched the second trailer?
Yes.
Okay. What was the worst part of the original Jurassic Park sequel? So Jurassic
of the Lost World.
The Lost World. What was the worst part of the Lost World?
Was when they got off the island and went to San Diego.
Yeah. What does it look like th're doing in this one?
Taking dinosaurs off the
plane. Yeah, exactly. Nah, not.
But do they make it that far at any point in the movie? We're yet to see. We'll find out. Do they get off the island?
There's in the trailer, it's got like the weird dinosaur with the really long arm, the unsettlingly long arms creeping up on the girl in the bed.
Yeah, it's like it's a new hybrid as far as I could tell.
The Indoraptor, they're calling it, the Indominus Raptor or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So they've done it again.
I like Jurassic World for exactly what it was, just a fun CGI monster movie adventure.
I think number 2, Fallen Kingdom is going to do exactly the same thing, pretty much. Okay. I don't know that it's going to be amazing, but I don't think it's going to.
You think it'll do well enough? Yeah. Okay. Do you want to hit me with another one? I'll go hit you with another one.
Ocean's 8.
Yeah. No. Okay. So really interesting argument I heard about this.
Yes.
Now, obviously, all of these idiot men's rights activists. By the way, if you're a men's rights activist, stop listening to this. I don't want your support.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I'm doing fine. I don't need your help.
Yeah.
There, I've said it.
Solid.
But I do agree with a lot of feminist articles about this,
Yep.
saying if you want strong female roles in movies, stop just retreading old Hollywood stuff and making an all-female cast. Come up with new and interesting female-led stories.
Yeah.
Like that that Ghostbusters thing they did a little while ago. I hated that.
Oh, really?
Not because they're all women.
Yeah.
I liked every actress in that.
Yep.
They're all great. None of it worked because it wasn't funny. It wasn't a good movie.
I only just recently watched it, and to me, it was just okay. Like, I wouldn't say terrible, but it wasn't groundbreaking.
Yeah. So, like, I mean...
and they did it just for the purpose of, here's a whole female cast, and that's not what we need.
God, I hope they haven't done that with this, is what I was going to say. Because this is a property that lends itself to, firstly, an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
So just got a whole bunch of different actors, actresses with different skills, comedic, drama... whatever it might be, set them onto a task that's got to be achieved, and entertainment ensues.
Yeah.
Really simple formula. It doesn't matter if it's all men, all women, or mixed.
Yeah.
You can do it with anything. This could really succeed.
Yeah.
But it all hinges on the strength of the plot, I think.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm willing to see it.
And you know what? I am a sucker for heist movies.
Sure.
Any movie that plays out with the whole story takes place, and then in the last 20 minutes they go, well, here's actually how we pulled the whole thing off.
It's actually been in my pocket the whole time.
Like, but when they cut back and you see the whole movie again from like how it all worked out, and you're like, oh my god, yes! Like, I love that. That gets me every time.
Well, then all this movie might do is make you want to watch Ocean's 11 again. So
probably.
Okay, a heist movie, Solo, a Star Wars movie, Reserving Judgment.
So recently, an insider at Disney pretty much came out and said that they're bracing themselves for this thing to suck.
Yeah,
they are
really
ready for this to bomb hard.
There are apparently all sorts of contingency plans. The marketing on this is being very deliberate. They're being very coy on a lot of details still leading up to the movie.
Think of every single Star Wars trailer that you've watched. Going back, you probably might remember Phantom Menace trailers when they first came out. Yeah.
They were really good.
Every single trailer. Think of, even Episode 3 when they reused dialogue from the original trilogy to get you amped up, talking about
it didn't
the
work.
Jedi were the Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yes, like I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
Think of Force Awakens. Think of Last Jedi. Think of Rogue One.
Yep.
And you watch them and you're just like,
in awe.
Yes. I am so ready. How did you feel after watching the trailer for Solo?
I thought this might not suck.
I just kind of went, I'm not pumped.
You're not amped, are you? No.
I'm not.
No.
It's going to be okay. I think when Alden Ehrenreich, or whatever his name is
not on screen,
it's going to be great.
God, that's
Donald
such a
Glover
shame.
is going to blow the whole thing out of the water.
Because he's just effortlessly cool, which is what Lando needs to be. So I'm going to give it a go. Of course I'm going to give it a go. But my one worry, like you say, if all the really best bits of this movie are in the trailer. Yeah. Also, there's another tentacle monster.
There's always a bigger tentacle monster.
Apparently. Why are there so many? Someone even pointed out to me on Facebook that there was tentacle monsters in the original trilogy.
Yep.
That I completely missed.
Straight from, the garbage compactor. And
the Dianoga. And then there was the Sarlacc pit.
Yep.
I don't know that there was one in the second movie.
In Empire?
Yeah, I don't think there was one in Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a big space slug.
Yeah, there you go. There's always some sort of weird tentacle thing.
Odd, isn't it? I never clicked to that. But anyway.
But I think, without argument, so Solo's coming out. That's our Star Wars movie this year. That's... So, with that being the Star Wars movie we get this year, I think we can easily argue that the biggest film this year, the one that's going to make all of the money, like every single dollar, is Avengers Infinity War.
Well, I'll throw it out there. I reckon even if Solo was good, this would still beat it.
Yeah.
Because historically, the Avengers does better overseas. And whenever an American talks about overseas market, they mean China.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know that Star Wars always does.
Yeah, fair enough.
The new ones haven't, but yeah, this will make all the money in the world. Like, we're going to have to give up some of our bank accounts just to fund this thing because it's going to be that big.
Disney bought Fox and now they're just going to own all of us.
Exactly. I kind of like the idea of Disney like buying up all these other production companies and just shutting them down.
Just owning everything.
No, just turning off all the lights and going, hey, Sony, you've not done anything good.
Yep, it's over.
Since like Spider-Man 2, it's over. Shutting you down, man. Don't do any more.
Yep, stop.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shall we get into it?
Yeah, why not, man? James, what are you arguing this week?
So, I'm going to be talking to you about a film. It doesn't actually even come out until December. So, we have a few months to wait.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
you say a few months. It's February, man.
Yeah,
we got a year.
A year to wait. So, I don't have a whole lot to offer you, to be honest.
No, but I like this because the one or two things you've seen on it, you've just gone, hit. Gonna be good. Yeah.
So there's like literally just one sort of teaser trailer. It doesn't really give away anything. So I'll read to you the plot synopsis from IMDb. Many years after the 60-minute war, cities survive a now desolate Earth by moving around on giant wheels, attacking and devouring smaller towns to replenish their resources.
I have several questions.
Yes, I said cities move around the Earth.
Also, 60-minute war.
The 60-minute war is what it's called. Yeah.
Okay, well, they're fighting over what's better, 60 Minutes or the other. Well, what's the Channel 7 one?
Today Tonight.
No. They do another one that's like 60 Minutes here in Australia. And
the
Sunday night.
Yeah.
I was about to say it's on a Sunday night, but I can't think of what it's called. Sunday night versus 60 Minutes.
That's surely what would have caused this. The movie I'm talking about is Mortal Engines. So I think this movie is going to be a massive hit. As I mentioned, it comes out in December, and we don't have a Star Wars film. Comes out in May, so we don't have a Star Wars film in December like we have the last few years. So I really believe that this is going to be the big Christmas blockbuster.
Wow, you're going that hard on this?
Yeah. This is going to be the movie to see. You know how Christmas comes around, you're like, what are we going to do tomorrow, Boxing Day? Oh, go to the movies. What are we going to go see? Star Wars? No, there's no Star Wars. You're going to go see Mortal Engines.
It used to be Lord of the Rings.
It was Lord of the Rings. Now it's Mortal Engines.
Wow, this is okay. I love a big claim.
I wanted to talk about this movie just because of how ridiculous that premise sounds. I do actually think it is going to take some clever marketing to get bums in seats.
Yes, it will.
But straight off the bat, this film, the teaser trailer, they're kicking it off with the words, Peter Jackson presents.
Nice.
So you'd certainly be forgiven for thinking that he's directing this film.
No,
he really serves. He serves as a writer and producer.
Yep.
It has a similar color palette, giving it that very familiar feel of Peter Jackson's other epics such as King Kong and Lord of the Rings. The film was actually directed by Christian Rivers. As far as I can tell, this is his first stint directing a major film. Okay. But he actually worked in the art department for much of Peter Jackson's filmography. So he's been involved with Peter Jackson for a while. I guess it's kind of a thing where he's come along and just said, like, I see you as very capable and I want you to lead this thing.
Yeah, sure. Or he lost a bet.
Maybe. Get the art guy to do it.
If I make this shot, you've got to direct a movie. Okay, but if you make... Hang on. Wait, how do bets work?
They were really drunk, and that's exactly how it played out.
But you've got to be attached to it as a producer. All right, done. And then, I don't know how bets work. So did he sink that or did he miss that? Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So
point is, they both lose.
Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh are two other longtime collaborators of Jackson's who are also involved with the film as writers and producers. Now, they have both served in the same roles for Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Lovely Bones, King Kong. And Walsh worked with Jackson.
Worked
with Jackson.
Let's start a rumor. These are unfounded rumors. Totally scandalous.
But she worked with Jackson on 1996's The Frighteners, one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, Michael J. Fox, and he's not dead?
No, he's investigating paranormal things. Yeah.
That's right. And there's ghosts that are dead.
And he's friends with them.
Okay, I don't know how bets work, and apparently I don't know how death works either. So
No, but yeah, so that was a great film. That was one of Peter Jackson's earlier films.
Okay, didn't know he was involved in that.
Yeah,
But
so while Peter Jackson isn't in the driver's seat here, I still think that this is a creative team that have a proven record working together, developing stunning and entertaining films.
Yeah.
I mean, other than The Hobbit.
Whoa, step back, man! I'll fight you.
Okay, stunning, no. Entertaining, yes.
Yeah.
CGI was terrible, and
yeah.
It's a massive drawback.
I like The Hobbit.
I do.
Why does everyone hate it? I don't.
I just the CGI really brings it down.
Yeah, because
brings it down.
Yeah, because it's a mess. But
so Mortal Engine stars Stephen Lang as Shrike, an ancient undead cyborg warrior.
No,
those four words go together.
No, I'm done. No, they don't.
You'd know Lang best from Avatar, the big sort of light white-headed guy, the Colonel.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He was also in the movie Don't Breathe in 2016, if you caught that one.
I didn't see it.
He's a blind guy, and there's kids breaking into his house, and he's basically going to kill them because he's broken into the house, but he's blind, so all he can do is hear them.
That sounds incredible.
Yes, apparently it was really good. But
okay, well, I got to check that out. Sounds amazing.
Hugo Weaving plays a character named Thaddeus Valentine.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, Hugo Weaving.
Do you know? Okay, before we started recording, we said something very briefly about Hugh Jackman and how he looks like the guy that everyone just knows.
You're already mates with him. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I pointed out to you, we're Australian.
Yeah.
So of course we already know him.
We're already mates. Yeah.
But Hugo Weaving is kind of like that arty uncle that you only ever see at Christmas.
Occasionally comes around family events.
And when he does, you're like, I wonder what he's working on now.
And you don't really want to talk to him. But
No.
your mum tells you, go say hello to your Uncle Hugo.
And before he comes around, you're like, what does Uncle Hugo do again? None of us know. Just go be polite, say hello, make sure his drink's topped up. Yeah.
So other than that, like looking through the cast, there aren't really any other really recognizable names, and I actually really enjoy that. I love seeing fresh new talent, and I think it's easier to get absorbed in the movie when you're not thinking, oh, that's so-and-so, you know? Yeah,
because you're not seeing someone reprising a role, or you're not seeing someone that's typecast in something.
So that excites me. The film's actually an adaptation of a series of 4 books by Philip Reeve, which started in 2001. So I dare say this is going to mean that if the film is a success, it's intended to kick off a franchise.
Another friggin' universe.
We'll see the other 3 books adapted in the coming years should this film be a hit.
Okay.
I gave you that plot synopsis at the start. I really want to go into that a little bit more.
Yeah, do it.
So the story takes place many years after an event known as the 60-Minute War, whether Sunday night or 60 Minutes is the best show. And this caused a massive geological upheaval.
Do you get what I'm doing there? Tonight on 60 Minutes.
Yes, I know. I wish you would stop.
Oh, okay. Do you want to say that bit again? Or? Because I'm just going to make the noise again if you read those lines again. No, go on. Sorry, I'll stop.
So the 60-Minute War caused...
I won't do it.
Caused a massive geological upheaval.
Okay.
So in order to escape earthquakes, volcanoes, and other instabilities, technology was developed to... Now, don't laugh. To install engines and wheels on entire cities and give them the ability to dismantle or eat other cities for resources. It sounds just ludicrous.
I nearly broke a rib not laughing at that.
We see this ravaged post-apocalyptic steampunk world where these gigantic cities roam around the earth. In the trailer, we see one of these cities traversing the landscape on tank treads, which is shown to be larger than a tree, which the city promptly rolls over.
Why would you build that? Why would you not just build a spaceship?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go see the movie and find out.
Okay.
So you're given the impression that this moving city is massive.
Yeah.
When suddenly...
It's a city, man. I mean, they're not small.
And suddenly, it's dwarfed by an even more gigantic city on its tail.
It's like Adelaide versus Sydney.
Pretty much. So you see on this big city, this new gigantic city that's just come out of nowhere, you see like full gardens, buildings, churches with citizens. They're walking around just going about their days on this massive machine of a city. So the people in the smaller city, they look panicked. Someone says, "What is that?" And the main female character, the protagonist, she goes, "That is London." It's so great. It's like, what just happened?
Doesn't she like pull a bandana off her face?
Yeah, she's got a bandana over her mouth, pulls it down. That is London.
So dramatic.
And it sounded so ridiculous. So the city of London gives chase, launching grappling hooks into the smaller city and pulling it into its mouth. I shouldn't be saying these words.
You really shouldn't. Mouth.
Yes, the city has a mouth.
Mouth. Oh my God.
I do not know what Philip Reeve was on when he wrote this, but I want some.
I'm glad he took it, and I'm glad he wrote it.
So character Tom Natsworthy, played by Robert Sheehan, is a low-class citizen of London. He works as an apprentice historian, but gets thrown out of the city and finds himself fighting to survive. So he encounters the fugitive Hester Shaw, that's the female we see in the trailer, played by Icelandic actress Hera Hilmar. And the unlikely pair must overcome their differences and work together.
Oh, no. Okay. You nearly had me.
Like I said, I really have no... Like, it's really hard to tell you what this film is going to be. Because there's hardly anything. I mean, I haven't read the books. But just from it just looks ridiculous. Peter Jackson's involved. It looks like one of his epic films. We'll see this film released here on Boxing Day here in Australia. Frankly, I can't wait.
Sure.
I'm very tempted, actually, to check out the books before then.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
why not?
do a bit of homework prior. Yeah.
Actually be able to tell you what the thing's about.
That could be good. Well, I mean... And if it's good, I'll try and read it too.
Yeah.
It's
just, it sounds out loud. We were just discussing like there's no unique stories anymore.
True.
It's freaking unique.
And this fits the bill.
Yeah. So what do you think, Damon?
Well, my one issue is, I mean, you and I are wanting unique stories. You and I are wanting, movies with new casts and new ideas and something exciting. Is that what 7 billion people on the planet are after? Or do we want same? Because history and finances would say we want same.
I think people have been led to believe they want the same.
Okay.
But I think if we're actually making entertaining, interesting stories that people will go... The reason we're getting the same rubbish over and over and over is because Hollywood figured out that consistently makes money.
Yes.
They're not prepared to take the risks.
So, I mean, this only needs to make... I'm not good with
over 500 million.
Yeah, I was right. I was about to say it only needs to make $500 million. Only needs to make $500 million for it to be a massive success.
Yeah, and I think it was $100 million budget. I think I read. So,
okay, yeah. So if it'll easily meet its budget because there'll be plenty of people like you and I going, nah, but I'm seeing that. I'm gonna go see that.
I actually, you know what? I can relate this to seeing the trailer and going, yeah, that looks like it's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
The first Pacific Rim.
I was just thinking that, but then was Pacific Rim a massive financial hit?
I don't recall.
Yeah. See, this is... Write in. Are you convinced podcast?
We can't be bothered looking up
we can't
Wikipedia.
Be bothered looking.
Can you tell us?
Research is hard. But no, okay. No, I'm convinced that because it only needs to be...
Is this going to be the movie that everybody's going to be talking about at the end of the year?
Yes, and you are right in the sense that when I did my research for mine, I mean, someone's going to hit us up and go, you guys forgot about X and Y. I don't remember there being anything coming out that's huge around that time of year because all the big ones come out in the middle of the year for the American summer season.
Yeah.
So all your Mission Impossibles, Avengers, and all that come out in the middle of the year in our winter.
Otherwise, like, it's usually been the time for, recently it's been Star Wars.
Yeah.
Before that,
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, well, there was Hobbit. Before that was Avatar.
Yep.
Lord of the Rings.
Okay, yeah. So they've either got to have found a huge gap in the market or they're confident on this.
Yeah. The only other stuff we've got going up against it in that time of year, we've got that Holmes and Watson movie we talked about. We've got Bumblebee, and we've got Mary Poppins Returns.
Nah, I think it'll do fine.
So
I think it'll do fine, mate. It'll be all right. Yeah, no, okay. No, you've convinced me.
Yeah,
I'm dubious, but only because it's something new, but I am keen.
It just sounds ridiculous.
And I saw that trailer.
Explain that to anybody. Like, that's what I mean. They're going to have their work cut out.
It's a city with a mouth.
On wheels.
And it eats other cities.
And not just any city, it's London, baby.
I hope the climax is London versus New York.
Yeah. We'll see. That's probably going to be like by the fourth book, surely.
Oh, yeah.
The fourth film. Yeah.
Possibly.
Damon.
Yeah, man.
Well, what are you going to be?
See, with that out of practice, I actually forgot how we do those segues.
It's your turn.
I was just about to start talking.
Yeah, okay.
And hope for the best.
How's your day been?
Ask me tomorrow afternoon when it's Friday. Ask me if Friday night drinks.
Brilliant.
Okay, so Jim, similar to you, we've driven this point home. We've both picked relatively smaller movies or, sort of sleeper hits that we're going after. I'm going to try and convince you that a little movie coming out called I Kill Giants.
You do? What?
I wish. Man, I wish.
Dude, they're endangered.
Yeah.
Have you seen a giant walking around?
I'm the reason they're endangered. Not telling me anything I don't know, man.
Okay.
You social justice warrior, you. Look at you. I Kill Giants.
Stop doing that.
What? The only mail we ever get is going to be hate mail.
Because you kill giants.
No, I forgot we upload to YouTube. There are so many giant, protectionists on there, and giants have rights too, man.
Technically, you're a giant.
I'm only 6'2". I'm not that big.
Colossal.
I'm big in spirit.
No, Damon, stop. Stay back. No, he's towering over me.
That gigantic podcaster will murder us all. Or crush us all, whatever that line from The Simpsons is. James, we don't remember how to do this.
We're so out of touch.
Oh, man. Is this funny? I don't even know anymore. So, Jimmy, it's 2018 finally, and we're looking down the barrel of another Marvel-filled, Disney-owned, DC-ruining year of movies. Oh, there's a DC movie coming out this year.
Aquaman.
Yeah, it's
around December, around the time that Mortal Engines comes out.
I hope Mortal Engines rolls up to it on its big old tracks, opens its wide mouth, pulls it in with grappling hooks.
Eats the city of Atlantis.
Yeah, I don't care. I really don't. Upcoming among them are some silent success stories just waiting to be told. I know that doesn't work as a thing because a silent story isn't really a story. It's a painting, I guess. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was funny last night when I wrote this Delirious. And
I'm going back.
I wrote this very late at night, and some of this might not make a lot of sense. While we are all aware that certain big blockbuster films will make the annual growth income of a developing nation, the Avengers made more in the box office than the GDPs of Camaros and Saitom and Principe, and Star Wars The Force Awakens made more money than those two and The Gambia. Apparently, I did some research last night.
What do these people do with all of their money? I feel like if all of Hollywood got together and went I can live happily on $100,000 a year.
Which, spoiler alert, you can.
You can quite decently.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the rest of my millions
to Saint Tom and Principe. Help them pay off some of their debt.
Yes.
Yeah.
To people that need it.
Yeah.
I feel like we'd solve a whole lot of problems.
Oh God, you social justice warrior! You calm down, man.
I don't understand what they're doing with their money.
People.
It's not my place to say what you do with your money, but
Yeah, but
what do you do with your money?
Nah, these people in African countries just need to work. They've got to want it.
Yeah.
It's their fault they're poor. But we're also going to get a bunch of films that will fall flat on their face. We've already talked about Solo, so I'll just skip all over that. This year, the list of potential big budget hits is long, almost as long as the list of African nations with a GDP of less than $100 billion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
I did a lot of research last night. None of it relevant.
You ended up somewhere deep in Wikipedia looking at gross.
Do you know what I think it was?
GDP.
Do you know, honestly,
so many countries, and you were just like, I could tie this into my argument.
Honestly, what it was even worse than that. I had one joke about making more than an African country, and then I spent half an hour researching the GDPs of African countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then somehow you always end up back on Hitler. You end up like 20 pages deep on how he got to where he was.
Yeah.
The rise of the Third Reich.
Yeah.
And who his second in command was, and where he was born. And
do you ever get to you get to those articles where you're like, wow, so he was responsible for the Autobahns and all those great works, and you start to think maybe he wasn't that bad. Oh, 6 million. No, he was pretty bad actually.
Awkward.
Anyway. James, today I will convince you that I Kill Giants. You also have one joke tonight.
You do. James, can I convince you that I Kill Giants? Well, bugger me.
I didn't mean to give you this gift of comedy, by the way, all right? This is the title of the movie. It's going to be a long spiel if that happens every time.
Okay.
Which I'm starting to feel like it will happen every time. It's really hot in this room.
It's getting very hot.
I think we are actually getting delirious here. Okay, so James, I want to convince you that insert title here will be a surprise hit of 2018. It won't be one of those big budget Marvel movies that makes as much as The Gambia, but I think it will be a huge success based on where it's coming from. So based on the 2009 graphic novel of the same name by writer Joe Kelly and artist J.M. Ken Niamura.
You get the cool name award this week.
You got some pretty good names in yours, though. We just didn't stop long enough to mention them. But you're right. I tend to get them. I think I get the good names only because I don't pronounce them properly, and we pause.
It's just George.
That's right,
George.
Yeah. The only thing this podcast needs is a giant crocodile. Okay. I Kill Giants is the story of 5th grader Barbara Thorson, who, as a weirdo, bunny ear wearing outcast at school, like she
that'll get you outcasted pretty damn hard.
I think so. Yeah, people will notice you, not for the right reasons. She wears bunny ears to school. Is picked on and bullied by the other kids, but in her spare time, she tracks down and kills giants.
Okay.
For fun. You
two would get along really well.
No, we've established I'm too tall. She would not trust me.
Yeah.
She'd be all like, "Are you a giant?" And then I'd get close and she'd go, "No, you're not that tall.
You're just standing really close."
Yeah. I mean, like in a workplace, you're probably the tallest in the office, but if I go and watch a basketball game, you're actually quite average size. It's one of those things.
Normal.
When I play sports, I'm really average height.
Yeah, valid. Yeah.
Anyway, I haven't read the novel, but I'm dying to because the quirky modern gothic artwork looks amazing, and Barbara looks like such a badass character who doesn't give a damn about her classmates. I mean, why would you care about snot-nosed little kids when your hobby includes killing giants? Why would you? So why do I think this quirky-sounding movie could be a hit? I mean, bear in mind it's coming out the same year as a Star Wars movie, Black Panther, and an Avengers movie.
Can you avoid coming out the same year as a Star Wars movie for like the future?
That is one of the best points you've ever raised on this podcast. It's true. Yeah.
The future of ever.
Yeah, that's very true. But hit here means popular and remembered. Okay, like people will see it and they'll remember it. Madison Wolfe plays Barbara in the movie, which is also scripted by original writer Kelly, which is always a good sign when you get the original guy on board.
Okay.
The story is going to be true to form. Wolfe's filmography is short, only starring in On the Road. Yeah, I know. Yeah. True Detective.
Yeah, okay. I haven't seen it, but heard it's great.
Yep. And The Conjuring.
Yeah, okay.
2.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a 2 movie, so it mustn't have been as good.
You're trying to convince me, right?
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, I really am.
You're just doing it on hard mode.
I like a challenge. She should really spend less time as a 15-year-old girl and more time in the studio. Am I right? Well, there you go. I've got 2 jokes. I actually wrote that one down. Am I right, James?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay. This filmography, especially The Conjuring 2, means she has experience at playing horror.
Yeah, okay.
Which is a good sign for a movie set in the forests of the Pacific Northwest and involves murderous giants which arrive to suck the fun out of your day in the woods.
They would, wouldn't they?
They would. You're having a nice little picnic and then fee-fi-fo-fum. And you go, not this again. Now I've got to get up.
It's a beanstalk all over.
And then your partner's all like, you said you weren't going to work today. And you're like, yeah, well, work's arrived. All right, it's here. I can't avoid it.
Yeah, it's happening.
Do you think I like this?
I got called in. Wasn't expecting to, but happens.
We live a certain lifestyle that you have become accustomed to. Okay? How did we? It's very hot in this room. I'm drowning in sweat right now, and I'm delirious. At first glance, she appears perfectly suited for the role. It fits her age, and she compares really well with the illustrations. A big part of the horror in this movie seems to come from the fact that no one believes Barbara about these giants that she's tracking and killing. Much like another cult hit from a few years ago, the Australian-made Babadook, the monsters appear to be an allegory for this girl's deep, unreconciled fears and traumas.
Okay.
However, the book and movie appear to be deliberately vague on the details, blurring the line between family drama and fantasy horror. You really have no indication about whether or not these giants are real or if she's making them all up.
Okay.
Another reason is that I genuinely believe that there is quite a huge market for this kind of film. It delves into themes such as grief and isolationism, but the main character leans on her creativity, resilience, and independent streak to face her problems. So many young women don't fall into the convenient and popular... Oh, hang on. Yep. Okay, this is the 3rd joke that I wrote for this. And it's not going to work because I'm going to stuff it up, but bear with me. Okay, you ready? I'm going to take a run up at this one. So many young women don't fall into the convenient and popularly... no, I failed. Convenient and popularly propagated pigeonholes and patriarchal paradigms for the perfect, passive, pretty in pink protagonist that most girly movies provide. Yes, son! There was 11 P's in that sentence.
That's the joke.
And it all makes sense.
Yes.
Very late at night when I wrote this, and it's very hot in this room. I don't need your charity.
I couldn't clap very well while I was holding the microphone. It wasn't supposed to sound so pitiful.
You actually did really well.
And you know what? You might have done really well with your P. Your putt.
Oh, yeah, that's going to drive people nuts listening to this. Sorry, everybody. I forgot about that. She also seems adept at building and making traps, displaying a love for science and technology. A massive focus for scientific fields and research institutes today is to bring more young women into the STEM field, which has been so predominantly male for way too long.
Yes.
This Barbara character will almost certainly appeal to every weird girl, in inverted commas, that you've ever met. That girl who's proudly good at maths, unironically wears a 50s dress and an op-shop cardigan, and doesn't really give a if you think she looks weird. I know of many, many young women, like adult women, who would appeal to this sort of character as well. You know, we know plenty of people that probably were this girl at some point, you know, and they probably see a lot of themselves in this character. Another reason why I feel this could do well is the release time in the States. So going back to this little theory. Currently, it's slated for release in March in America, bringing it into competition with some absolute crap. The two big movie releases coming out of that time are Ready Player One, which looks like the most cynical job of pandering to the gaming community I've ever seen. Tomb Raider, video game movie. Red Sparrow, the less fun, not really appropriate or attractive to teen girls version of Black Widow. And the Who Cares, the original was brilliant, flash in the pan. Just leave it be, Hollywood, god damn it. Sequel, Pacific Rim. Just let it go. You're allowed to make a one good movie and leave it as one good movie.
Yeah.
There's very little coming out to appeal to the teenage market in a meaningful way. When you pitch a teen movie at teens, but it actually have some meaningful content in it, it tends to do well. So think the Harry Potter franchise, going way back, The Breakfast Club, Mean Girls, they're all remembered.
Yeah.
Because they don't pander or talk down to the demographic they're trying to appeal to. You think about other ones, for example, Ready Player One and Pacific Rim, they're aimed at teen markets, but they're not, but they're talking to teen markets.
Okay.
Teens want something that's aimed a little bit above them.
Yeah.
They can see themselves in it, but it's clearly, someone's clearly giving them the intelligence that they deserve. Those are the movies that tend to do really well and get remembered. Sherlock Gnomes is also coming out at this time of year, so that might give it some run for its money. Did you know that there's a Sherlock Gnomes movie coming out? Yeah.
Following on from Romeo and Juliet, that hit that we all enjoyed so much.
I loved Romeo and Juliet so much that I can't even remember what it was called, who was in it, what it was like.
Any of the things about it. Yeah.
So
that was the thing we had to do again, apparently.
Again. Just leave it alone, Hollywood. Don't touch it. In closing, I Kill Giants looks to be a movie that has a small but potentially rabid and loyal fan base that traditionally gets overlooked by Hollywood types. This means that, should the trailer deliver in its promises, any quirky outsider with a sense of self may have found a really true cult classic. The marketplace is not saturated with great teen movies at this point, and we may actually have a flick the parents, aunties, and uncles drag their kids down to see. I'm not arguing that this will make Avengers money, but I do think we will look back at the end of the year and remember I Kill Giants far more fondly than many big-budget blockbusters and unnecessary video game adaptations and sequels. James, have I convinced you?
I'm getting this image of a film that's very sort of dark and serious. Have I got the wrong sort of
No. So it is dark and serious. The trailer's fantastic. It starts with her in like a cubby house, and she's got all these drawings that she's done up around the place. So she lives in her own head. She's a very creative young lady and clearly lives in her own imagination. And she's doing like this weird spell incantation over like a velvet bag, and there's glitter involved. But then it pans around the room and there's like little skulls of animals sitting there, and like some pretty serious looking drawings of these demons and stuff. And it's all candlelit. So you're like, okay, this is either a really creative kid or a chick with issues.
Yeah.
And then throughout the movie, you see her battling these giants, but no one believes her that these giants exist.
Yeah, okay.
So she becomes even more isolationist and even more taking it upon herself, like, I'm the only one that can save everyone from these things.
Yep.
So that's kind of the beauty of it. Like, are they all existing in her head? Are they real? Is she using this as an outlet for something? It looks like she might be orphaned. She lives with her older sister, so maybe her parents are gone. Maybe there was some traumatic event that caused that, and the giants are sort of an allegory for that. I think this will really appeal to, like I said, those weird, nerdy, creative teens. Yep. But I think it'll also appeal, because of the message, I think it will appeal to adults as well. So it's something that'll stand the test of time after a while, I think.
Yeah. It sounds very interesting. I'm going to say that, yes, I think it certainly has a chance of being a sleeper hit that's going to come out of nowhere. It does have competition. One bit of competition that you forgot to mention, you left out, and that's A Wrinkle in Time.
Okay, the movie that when you showed me the trailer earlier today, I said immediately when it finished, I just said Tomorrowland.
Yeah. But I think that's going to be the movie that you talked about, the teen market. I think it's going to be between Wrinkle in Time and Pacific Rim.
Sure.
Is what's going to get I feel like that's going to get the marketing.
Yeah.
They're going to put their brand out there.
Yes, absolutely. But maybe I Kill Giants should have gone straight to Netflix.
So, but yeah, what I think it's going to be a great film, from the sounds of things. I worry that it's probably going to be a film that doesn't get the attention it deserves.
Sure, but maybe it'll be one of those that we look back in 2019 and go, do you know what? I Kill Giants was probably the one that was genuinely better. And you might even talk to a few people down the pub or at work or whatever, and that might be in their top 10 just out of nowhere. It is in stiff competition in a very crowded market. You're right, and you're right. I totally forgot about A Wrinkle in Time. I have not given that.
I feel that's the only competition. I think, like you said, it could come around. It could be more of a thing of give it some time, let it digest, and then everybody's going to go, you know,
like what I've been telling you to do with The Last Jedi.
Yeah, no, I've taken my time. Enjoy it better the second time.
Yeah, you do though, don't you?
Yeah. So, are you convinced by our arguments? What are your thoughts on Mortal Engines and I Kill Giants? Are they films that you were intending to check out or now intend to check out?
Has anyone out there read the novels, the books that this is based on? Yeah, we want to hear about it.
What are the films that you're most looking forward to this year, or what are you going to be avoiding completely?
Oh, yeah, I can tell you what I'm avoiding.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, half the list.
Rampage. Yeah. Aquaman.
X-Men. I'm so done with the X-Men movies, man. I really am.
But let us know on our social media accounts.
Yes, which are Twitter and Instagram at Are You Convinced. You can search Are You Convinced on Facebook, or you can just go straight to www.facebook.com/Are You Convinced, all one word, .podcast. Please donate to our Patreon. It's getting to a point where we're sort of going, we might need to...
bail.
We might need a bit of a shot in the arm here, guys. So if you're liking what we're doing...
We hate to beg, but if you're enjoying this, we really appreciate if you can, throw a few bucks our way and help us.
Then, and the more people you tell, the more people that listen, the more, the algorithms go in our favor, and, who knows what might happen. But the easiest way that you guys can help us out is just to flick $1 on Patreon.
Or even easier, please do that. I don't want to convince you otherwise. But if you're enjoying the podcast, leave us a review on iTunes, because that really helps out. When people see that there's positive reviews for things, they're more likely to check it out themselves.
Yeah.
So
maybe check out our older material when we're a bit more practiced. Like tonight we've come off 2 months and it's hot.
Don't go back to episode 1. Start at 7 or 8.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, where we really hit our stride, man. Really hit our peak there.
Next week, we've decided our topic's going to be the animal kingdom.
Yes.
All things animal kingdom.
Right now, you might be thinking, can they really build an hour around animals?
Yes.
Yeah, I got some really strong thoughts.
He's going to get into that next week. I think I'm just going to have to just stand back and let him go.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to peel paint from these walls. There's one particular animal that I just...
If it's hot next week, next time we record this, you're just going to be screwed.
You're going to need to
You're going to be melting.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to need
fuming red smoke out your ears.
Yep. We're going to need some electrolyte, maybe some... I was about to say the name of the product, but...
Go for it.
Yeah, Gatorade. Gatorade, sponsor us. Gatorade. Sponsor us next week, Gatorade, because I might need you.
I won't bow to any sponsor. It's the choice of a new generation. But yes, please convince your friends to listen.
Convince your friends, convince your pets. Mishka, our pet listener, we love you. Please keep listening.
We've missed you. Yep. Being absent for so long. Welcome back. We hope you're having a great time. Hope you're keeping cool.
How do we end this?
That's it. How do we end this? We just hang up?
I think so. I reckon we do. Do you want to just on the count of 3 we just stop talking?
Or we could just out of nowhere we could just